Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and I'm playing Starbound version 1.0, and in this Let's Learn video, we have yet another airlock design brought up by a viewer. His name is Olivier, and here we go. So he was asking, why have the multiple airlock rooms? And I basically said, it doesn't really need to be multiple airlock rooms. It is an airlock after all. I think the only reason why I had the mini airlock and the other designs was just so that this main room could fill up with water, and then the mini room would be kind of like a pressurization room or something like that, like they have on submarines. But anyways, here is a new design that doesn't use the mini room. So we have two buttons as we had before. Now I could easily do two buttons or maybe two detector modules. Let's see, where are they? Here we go. Proximity scanners, I think they're called. Yeah, proximity scanners. But we'll go with two buttons for now, and then I'll show you how it works. Then we'll see what it looks like with proximity scanners. So we have an in and out button as we did before. So let's go ahead and hit the out button. This will allow water to rush in. And as soon as it's filled up, the main door will open up, and we can go ahead and close this latch here, which will then release all the water inside the airlock. And then we go do what we're going to do. And then when we're done, we're ready to come back. We click on this, the water fills up in the airlock, and as soon as it's filled up, this main door will open up. And we hit the in button, and everything will reverse. There we go. Yet another awesome little airlock design. I'll go ahead and explain how it works. Alright, let's talk about the different components of this airlock. The first one we're going to talk about is the in button here, which allows us to enter into the little base. So let's open up the wiring here, and what this does is it's connected to this persistent switch here in the on position. When this is on, the persistent switch is on, it will turn on all the drains, and it will also feed into this switch stack here for the inner door. Now, it's feeding into an AND switch, which also has another component to it. So the AND switch is waiting for this to be powered here, and it's also waiting for this to not be powered. So you can see that I have a NOT switch here. So this water detector is linked into this NOT switch, and then if there's no water, it will then power on this AND switch, which when both of these, when the button is turned on and there's no water in here, it will allow this door to open up. So let me show you how that works real quick. So it fills up with water, and as soon as I hit the in button, it's going to start draining through the persistent switch. As soon as this is completely out of water, the door will open up based off of this persistent switch being on and linked into this AND switch, as well as the water detector being off, which then goes into a NOT switch, which then, when this is not powered, this then powers the AND switch. As you can see, there's a little bit of power going between this NOT switch and the AND switch. So when both of these are powered, the door opens up. Alright, so that's getting into the airlock. Alright, so getting out of the airlock requires the out button here. So here's the out button. The out button is linked to the off position of this persistent switch, which the persistent switch is also connected to this NOT switch here. So basically, when this is powered, this will not be powered. But when it's not powered, when the persistent switch is not powered, it will power on this NOT switch, which will then open up the hidden panels up here, releasing the water into the main airlock. So let's go ahead and click that. So it's in the off position. This is now powered. This gets opened up, fills all the way up, and now we've got a completely filled airlock ready to head out. Now the other thing that's occurring here, this is just another small component, and that there is a water detector here. If the water detector is powered, it's going to open the main door here. So if there's no water in this spot right here, it will close this main hatch. All right. So let's go ahead and fill this up again. And then the last component here is the switch on the outside, which is basically just connected in the same way that the on position is on this persistent switch. So it just kind of bypasses the persistent switch altogether. Because this is a switch itself, it will maintain power if it's in the on position. So click on this, it powers all of the different drains, and it will also power this this NOT switch over here, which will then close off all of these hatches, releasing on the water, and there we go. Those are all the 3 different components of the system. So if I click on it again, it will unpower everything, allowing the hatches to open up again, and then the water detector will then open the door once it has detected water. All right, so that's the basic design. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like with some proximity sensors. All right, seeing how most of this system is driven by this persistent switch here, I could use anything to send a powered signal to this persistent switch. So it doesn't necessarily have to be these buttons. So let's go ahead and remove them. And instead, let's do maybe some proximity scanners like we were talking about earlier. Let's put one like right here, and then one right here. I don't like these detectors because of the fact that you don't know how close you have to be. I like more control over my doors. But if you like proximity sensors and you don't want to have to push a button, this is the way to do it. All right, so this is going to be our in sensor, and we put it into the powered spot on the persistent switch, and this is going to be our out sensor, which will go into the unpowered slot on the persistent switch. So here we go. Let's see how that works. So if I'm on this, everything's getting powered the way it should be. If I'm on this one, it's going to unpower everything and power the things that need to open the hatches here and allow the water to rush in. We go close that. All right, let's see what that looks like without the wiring in place. Now, it doesn't matter if I'm on this because everything's open anyways. If I walk on over to this guy, it's going to close everything without me having to click on any buttons. All right, folks, so this is Olivier's request, and hopefully this is kind of hitting what he's looking for in terms of you know, what he wants to see in an airlock with no mini room. And I totally agree. The mini room was a little bit superfluous, but I really liked it because it allowed a little bit more control and safety for everything that's inside here. But anyways, that's my new airlock. This is Johnnyonoes playing Starbound version 1.0. If you have any questions or any other requests, please go ahead and leave them in the comments section below. Thanks, folks. I will see you in the next episode.